give it a minute here, because I don't really want to be here for too long, if I'm honest, because I'm absolutely shattered. Because I've been up since 5:30, and it's been a very, very long day. No, I wouldn't say it's necessarily been a good day overall. I can't go into what I've been doing today. Wish I could, but I'm not able to. But trust me, there is going to come a time when it will all become clear and it will be in the public domain, and then you will know exactly what it is I've been doing for the last few months. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm tired and I am exhausted. And things do, after a little while, start to drag you down. But I will be speaking in Telford, I believe it's the 21st of April, with regards to, obviously, the grooming gangs operating in Telford. I don't know how many more girls have got to be systematically raped and abused by Muslim men before our government wake up, put up, and stop victimising the victim. Because quite frankly, I'm just a tad sick of it. In fact, a tad is an understatement. So I will be there on the 21st of April. I'm not sure, I'm trying to remember, I think it's the Charterists that are holding this one. I hope that many of the DFLA will come along and show support, even if it is just to give me a big thumbs up and a bit of encouragement. So I've now got to sit and work on another speech. That should be fun. Also, I'm in London on Monday to give a speech in London as well. So that's another date that honestly, I don't feel like my feet have touched the ground for the last 3 weeks. And there are the very few trusted people that I know that know what I'm doing or what I'm involved with at this moment in time. But I can't honestly tell you how sick I am of opening up an article after an article after an article. And I had a lovely lady contact me just before the Birmingham demo, and her name was Miriam. She was an Indian lady of Indian descent, fantastic lady. Hi, Sean Smart. Chicken. Hi, chicken. Love it when my boys come on. They've always got such terms of affection for me. And she was telling me how her daughter at 16 years of age was raped, and she's now 23. She has Asperger's, she has autism, and she is still being trafficked, and the police refuse to even investigate it because she's apparently an adult. The fact that she's a vulnerable adult doesn't seem to come into the equation. I had another phone call from another lady whose 17-year-old daughter, she believes, is being trafficked. Again, the police refuse to act. What is wrong with the bloody police force in this country? When did our police force really become so chicken-livered? I mean, I know the bobbies on the beat do a bloody good job and they work bloody hard, but they are controlled by the elite at the top of the ladder. And if you look at London, well, knife crime apparently now far outweighs New York. But apparently, we don't have a problem with knife crime. Cressida Dick said so. No problem with knife crimes in London. Well, I'm pretty sure that if you ask the people being stabbed, Cressida Dick, they will tell you there's a huge problem. Where did that problem stem from? Let me think. Sadiq Khan stopped the stop and search because he said it is racist. Stop and search is racist. And since you stopped the stop and search, knife crime has gone up through the roof. Round of applause for the pricks and the dicks. Because that's what we now have, a prick and a Cressida dick. I swear on my children's lives, I do not remember being a child and coming across a copper who wasn't prepared to do his damned job. The same as I watched a video the other day in Hyde Park, and there was a lady in there who went up to the police officer and said, according to the park rules and regulations, no praying is permitted in the park. And I don't know whether that's every day or whether that's on just on Easter. But she had the rules and regulations there in front of her. And the police officer at first tried to argue with her and say, no, that's not correct. It was correct. She was correct. And all the Muslims go, no, you're the only one bothered. It's not about whether she's bothered. It's about rules and regulations. Something that many Muslims don't seem to want to toe the line on. And those who do toe the line, who do abide by the law and do act in a law-abiding way, are demonised because of the pricks that refuse to abide by the rules and regulations and the laws of this land. So all those who go on about you're a raging Islamophobe, I'm no Islamophobe. Blame the Muslims making all the other Muslims look bad. They're the ones doing this shit. It's not me. I'm not out there running around with a knife trying to kill people. I'm not mowing anyone down in my car. You've got an old boy. I mean, this is the only bit of justice I've seen, right? An old I think he was 78 years of age, and a burglar broke into his house and he stabbed him. And one of the guys, the stabbing, it was fatal and he died. And the police are not pursuing any further matters. You're damn right you shouldn't be. He's a 78-year-old pensioner who's protecting his home. But no, don't protect your home. Come into my house, burgle me, rape me. But if I kill him, charge me. It's insane. We live in an insane asylum. Freedom of speech is being shut down at every given goddamn opportunity. And whether people like Tommy Robinson, whether they dislike Tommy Robinson, whether they agree with him, whether they disagree with him, is irrelevant. Freedom of speech in this country is imperative. And Speaker's Corner is the birthplace of freedom of speech. Who the hell do these people think they are to think they can take anyone's freedom of speech away? Sadiq Khan, you little hate hole. Measuring your stats of the rise of the far right, the rising tide of Islamophobia. Are you measuring, Mr. Khan, the attacks by Muslims against non-Muslims? Of course you're not. Of course you're not. Demonise the majority rather than sitting there and doing your job, even if it offends the minority. I'm fortunate enough that I do know some fantastic people who just happen to be Muslims, law-abiding people. But I also know some scumbags who are not law-abiding people. And it has damn all to do with anything other than the fact that they think they are owed something. They think they have some sense of entitlement, that we somehow owe them something. I owe you nothing. And I am entitled to my opinion. We have the thought police. For God's sake, don't give an opinion. Oh, my word. Don't have an opinion. Don't have a thought. Don't be a free thinker. Don't think for yourself. And I'm not going to name any names. But I had somebody today, yesterday, it's been a long 3 days for me, that didn't like the fact that I help Muslim women Said I help more Muslims than I do English girls. Which is bullshit. I help those who need help. I've helped girls that have been groomed and raped or raped and attacked by people who aren't Muslim. I've helped people who are groomed and raped by Muslims en masse. And I've helped Muslim women. But you go out and you challenge a few femi-fascists and you think you're some kind of big man because you front them out, man. Well, you see, I front them out on a daily basis. That apparently doesn't count for shit. Allegedly. Somebody thinks that this is something I give a shit about. I don't. Tony, this grooming thing is national epidemic. I'm investigating just how badly 700 girls have been let down in Newcastle. I'd be interested to know what you find out, my love. And I know it's, trust me, I know it's epidemic. I know that we are right now, we have the biggest epidemic, and it is an endemic in our country of Muslim, and I will keep reiterating it. And if it offends you, I don't care. I don't care if you're offended. You raping somebody offends the fuck out of me. So I don't care if you're offended. Be offended. Take your offence over into the corner to somebody who gives a rat's arse. If you saw what it does to the people it's happened to, if you saw the devastation it creates and it leaves in its wake, you would spend less time being offended and a little more time challenging the establishment who have ignored this. Look at Telford. I believe there are 40 officers being investigated. They should be done and charged with dereliction of duty. They failed this country. They failed those girls. They sat back while girls were systematically raped and trafficked and degraded and abused and beaten and battered. You'd think, after reading the J report about girls getting their tongues nailed to tables, that would be enough. But no. Everybody thought when Rotherham broke this would stop, and I said months back, this is not going to stop. It's going to get worse. I said then there had been a call put out to every extremist piece of crap out there to target and systematically rape as many as you can. And oh, how they do like the white-skinned slag that they see us all as being. Now, I know Sikh girls were targeted. I am aware of this, and I take nothing away from the suffering of those girls either. But on the sheer scale, the volume of white girls targeted by these scumbags, I will reiterate again for every person out there that gets offended. Muslim rape gangs. That is what they are. If that offends you, I don't care. I don't care. Be offended. Rape offends me. And for the person who thinks, well, for the few you help, you don't know how many. You don't know. Don't come to me with your bullshit and tell me the few don't matter in comparison to the thousands of men you say you can get out the street, because that's bullshit too. You're lucky if you can raise 2 fingers, let alone 2 men. But I don't care if it's one girl, 101 girls, 1,000 girls, or 1,000,000 girls that I help. Every single one of them matters. And if you think I can be bullied into keeping my mouth shut over things you don't want me to address, well, you mistake me for someone who gives a shit. And when we are at the next demo, when we're face to face, I'll show you where you say, I won't confront. Oh, I will. Step one step towards me. And I will show you just how confrontational I can be. Because I am, believe it or not, past the days where I can be bullied or intimidated. I am not intimidated by you. And believe you me, I can hold my own better than most and not as good as others. Just as I said, I do more than some and not as much as others. And all you heard is I do more because you're so busy trying to build your career because you think you're going to be a somebody. Well, I don't want to burst your bubble, but you're only going to be a nobody. And no, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to name names. Makes them important, and they're not. They don't know who they are. And they're not blocked, so they can see it for themselves. And if that bothers you, see you at the next demo. We can go toe to toe if you like. Debate the shit out of each other if you like. If you want to show weakness. Because you're very good at challenging the femi-fascists and women. So, I'm quite happy to take up that challenge. Because you mistake me for someone who gives a shit. That I do give a shit about these girls. Each and every single one of them. I don't think one girl is less important than another. Every single one of those girls and their families matter. And it isn't you picking up the pieces, is it? And yes, there are others out there that could do just what I do, but they don't, do they? There are people out there, we have organisations that will help you with if you've been raped. There is no organisation that will accept that the man that did it was a Muslim. She's not allowed to say that word. It offends. And I don't care if it offends. I don't care. As for me confronting people, well, every time I get on a train, I raise the subject myself. Everywhere I go, I talk to people. I don't care if they're left or right. If they're left, I'm going to challenge them on their opinions, but of course I don't film it. See? For the notoriety. Because I don't need notoriety. But you do. Don't you? And I'm glad that that 78-year-old pensioner who was defending his property is able to walk free. And so he should. So he bloody well should. But isn't it a shame that the same fairness and equality isn't placed on girls who are raped? They're called liars. They're accused of having relationships, even though they were raped. They're told that they're making it up. They're ignored when they cry out for help. When they turn up at the police station, begging for you to listen. When mothers come to you begging for you to listen, begging for you to investigate, you turn them away. May you go to sleep at night and never know what it feels like to feel a full night's sleep. To every social worker, counsellor, police officer, teacher that systematically failed those girls, that systematically turned their backs on the plight of those girls, may you never sleep a full night's sleep again. May you close your eyes and hear the lambs scream in your head for your failure, for the part you played in allowing the systematic abuse and rape of predominantly white girls. You ignored the Sikh girls, the Sikhs got violent and it stopped. But you target the white girls, it's easy prey for you. And you turned your back. You stood in the corner of your police stations whispering because you know that they listen to your conversations. Your superiors are listening in on the Bobby's conversations. I know this. I do my research. I know that you turn your radios off and go up into the furthest part of a car park near your police station to have your conversations because you're spied on by your own superiors. I know this. Shame on every officer that turned his back. Shame on every officer that ignored the cries of those girls for help. For every boy out there, because there's boys raped too by Muslim men. You don't hear about it so much, but it happens. Believe you me, it happens. Because I've had boys contact me too. Grown men now. Boys when it happened. You rape your own children. And I will reiterate, because we all know we're going to get somebody come on and go, not all Muslims. All the little lefties are going to come on and go, not all Muslims. I've never said all Muslims, but I'm sure I'm not going to keep reiterating not all Muslims. I've not said all Muslims. You want to make that assumption? I'll leave it up to you. I saw you protesting about the far right. All your Labour lobbies. The far right this. The far right that. I'll tell you again, the opposite of right is wrong. You're backing everything that's wrong with Labour. Everything about Labour is wrong. Even Lord Sugar has turned around and said Jeremy Corbyn is a dangerous man. But they can't get rid of him. You voted for the fucker though, didn't you? All your little Labour lobbies, all your little students, all thought you were going to get something for free. All bought into the free education bullshit. Because you wanted something for nothing. You voted for a dangerous, Hamas-loving, Hezbollah-supporting, IRA-sympathising prick that Lord Sugar, in his own words, said is a dangerous man. And I swear to you, if there is anybody on my page that is interested in voting Labour, get the hell off my page now. I don't want you. I'm not interested in you. You sold your country. You sold your soul when you voted Labour. And if you continue to vote Labour. And if the next time I'm up at the House of Lords, oh, I would love to see Mr. Corbyn walking towards me, because I promise you now, I'll have no issue telling him the public hate you. You are despised by every sane person in this country. You are scum. You are trash. And you are not fit to lick the working class boot. Stick to kissing the boot of Diane, the racist fabbot. Diane Abacus, as I like to refer to her, because the fucker can't add up either. And all this about putting new coppers. Oh, yeah, they're going to put new coppers on. Yeah, yeah. Let me tell you now, do you know how many weeks training these new coppers get? Let me tell you. 2 weeks training now. That's just protecting. Serve and protect. 2 weeks training, out on the streets. Go out there and serve the public. It's a shame they don't try doing that, serving the public. It's what you get your wages for. 2 weeks training. And then they're turfed out on the streets. And we wonder why none of them know what the hell they're doing. Go figure. Go figure. And then, but you see, you can't blame that on the Telford thing. No, 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 not at all. Because there's no way you can blame that on the Telford thing, because it goes back 40 years. And I said, I don't know if anybody could, there's quite a few people on my Facebook. They've been on my Facebook actually from, I'll check it out, Linda Kearney Goodman. Thank you. I will check it out. And Katie Brewster, she's lovely. Katie, she's lovely. She makes me laugh. She lets me take the piss out of her husband as well, which is great. In a nice way, I might add. But then you can't blame the bobbies that are getting 2 weeks training and put out on the streets for the failure in Telford. Because I don't know if anybody can remember, like I was just saying, there are many people that are on my Facebook who have been on my Facebook since time immemorial. And I have on occasion, and I'll make no secret of the fact that, you know, like I said, never hidden the fact that I was groomed and raped, not by Muslims, I will add, before some other prick comes on and tries to make out I said something different. But I do remember a young girl that I lived on the streets with when I was homeless being pimped out back then by Pakistani Muslim men. Didn't know anything about Muslim, didn't know anything about Islam, but they were Pakistani. She was 12 years old. I am 49 years old. So what's that tell you? What does that tell you? It goes back over 40 years. Then you see this today. Are you all ready for this? A 27-year-old Derby man has admitted sexual activity with girls as young as 12. Dylan Amin, who ran the famous shop in Pear Tree Road, Normanton, pleaded guilty to 2 counts of sexual activity with a child. By that they mean rape or abuse. Pleaded guilty to 2 counts of sexual activity with a child when he appeared at Derby Crown Court. 1 count relates to incidents which took place between November the 1st, 2012 and October the 31st, 2013, when the victim was aged 12 and 13. The second victim was aged 15 when the activity took place. Activity! This is not a hobby. Well, it is for them. It's like, well, what are you doing this weekend? What activity are you doing this week? Going skiing? No, I'm going to go do a bit of white girl raping. Between December the 6th and the 9th, 2016, Amin of Pear Tree Road, Normanton, also pleaded guilty to 2 counts of sexual assault relating to 2 different women between October the 11th, 2014 and October the 12th, 2015. Judge Jonathan Bennett adjourned the case for the preparation of pre-sentence reports and will sentence Amin on Friday, April 27th. He remanded him in custody until that hearing. It's very good of you to remand him in custody because you've been bailing so many of the bastards. Most of them, you're letting walk free. That's what you did in Telford. Hit the share button, everybody, please. I don't like to have to ask, but, you know, the more people know this sort of stuff, the better. So that, and invite your friends in, get as many on there as you can, get as many people hitting that share button. So we're supposed to believe, you see. We're supposed to believe that the elite in our police force are doing their jobs. No, you're not. No, you're not. And I'm going to run through it again for those who don't know. And as I said, I'm not stopping in long, because I don't know if you can tell, but I'm actually struggling to keep my eyes open here. Hi, Ryan. I'm sure you're going to be banned, just like I'm sure I'm about to get another ban. Because I had some lovely little lefty when I was at the Veterans Against Terrorism and the DFLA, not the FLA, because I love the FLA lads and I love the DFLA lads, but I do not like John Meehan. I don't trust a man who's a liar. I don't trust a man who's a hypocrite. I don't trust a man who throws you under the bus because he doesn't have the bollocks or the moral backbone to stand up when the going gets tough. And that's what a certain somebody was a little bit upset with me for. So, for those who aren't aware, there are guidelines imposed on our police officers. Now, for the Christians, they're about this big. Okay? It's about this big. Paragraph, maybe. For the Jewish community, it's probably about that. For the atheists like me, nada. No special preferences. For the Sikhs, probably about this much. For the Muslim community, the guidelines are 2 A4 size pieces of paper. Full. Full. And those guidelines say, just from the top of my head, the bits that I can remember. You cannot enter a Muslim's household unless you have coverlets that are pure upon your feet. And only if you can ensure the coverlets remain pure. If you attend because somebody's made a phone call to say domestic violence has taken place, and you attend, you are not permitted to speak to the woman. You must speak to the man. That's helpful, isn't it? If you go into, say you're chasing an assailant, and that assailant flees into the mosque, you are not permitted to enter the mosque unless you are authorized by the imam. You are forbidden to shake hands with the opposite sex. If you need to administer first aid, you must ensure that modesty is adhered to at all times. Unless you're saving a life, of course. But even then, please to ensure modesty remains at all times. You are forbidden, please watch my lips, even though I can see my camera's freezing up a bit. I apologise for that. You are forbidden, emphasise on the word forbidden, to touch any religious artefacts or the Quran. You must go and seek out the imam, and only if that imam agrees to come and actually pick that book up or that religious artifact. So you get a nice big Quran this big. I don't know, maybe some drugs, maybe some guns, maybe a bomb, stash it in there. You can't touch it. I know for a fact, and I say again, can't tell you how I know, but I know for a fact there was a bomb factory. And when an officer went into this bomb factory, after the arrests were made, all of the Qurans were left behind. And pages were opened and had been highlighted in the areas that told them, kill the kafar, slay the unbeliever, smite the neck of the unbeliever, were literally marked with a highlighter pen. Not one of those Qurans was taken. When this officer said, why have you not taken these Qurans? The coppers went, no, he said, we can't. not allowed to touch them. This is why girls are being raped, because our bobby on the beat is controlled by the elite in the police force. The elite in the police force are eunuchs. They have no balls. They're so busy trying to get their promotion that they've lost their cojones. And they don't care while they're getting that nice big fat wage packet with their nice big fat payroll and their nice company car and all the perks that go with it. And do you know why they don't care? Because what they fear more than anything is that the Muslim community, the extremists within the Muslim community, will riot. They're terrified of a Bradford riot happening everywhere. Terrified. They would rather sacrifice a girl and throw her like a lamb to the slaughter and get rid of the girl than address the issue. So like I said, I will be in Telford on, I think it's the 21st of, I think it's the 21st of April. I will, once I get to the date, I'll put the dates up. Where I will be giving a speech. I will also be in London on Monday, where I'm going along to a meeting that's being held, where I will get the opportunity to sit down with Jebel Batten. And I do intend to take the opportunity to tell him as much as I can so that he can really be the party of the people and stand up against this crap. And I believe he will. I do. Hand on heart, I believe he will. Spoken to him on the phone. I think he genuinely does care. He's shocked. He's horrified. And I genuinely think he will deal with the issue. That's my opinion. Sorry, for some reason my comments aren't scrolling up as they should do, and the whole thing is freezing up, and maybe it's just me, and maybe it's me that's freezing up, actually. Somebody said, Named Earl says, mention government collusion, Tony. Of course the government are colluding. Of course the government are colluding. But you know what? While we have a voice in the Lords, like Lord Pearson, putting those questions out, we at least have a voice. While you have people like Baroness Cox addressing the issue of Sharia law courts in this country operating with impunity, at least there's a voice saying enough. And to anybody who has an issue, such as Mr. Motivator had, should I call him Mr. Male, had, with the fact that I help Muslim women. I've never hidden it. It's not a secret that I help Muslim women. It's not a secret that I help apostates. I've never hidden it. Speaking of which, some good news. The young lady that everybody helped me to find, you know, I was trying to find a place for her to go. I managed to get her a safe place. I obviously can't say where it is. She is doing really well. She's really come on in leaps and bounds, which I'm really, really pleased about. She's finally now starting to live a life. She's looking for work. She's getting the help she needs. She's got my support. She's got the support of the family that she's with. She's doing really well. So, you know, thank you to those who had, you know, the fortitude to come forward and offer their help. And she did ask me to personally thank each and every person that offered a sofa or a spare room or whatever. She wanted me to personally say thank you. Somebody's on here writing in Arabic. I have no idea what it says. If you want to speak to me, whatever your name is, try writing in English, because I don't speak Arabic. Sorry, I'm tired. Also, for those who aren't aware, because obviously I've been on the 30-day Facebook ban, which I got because I had a message from a guy that said, oh, excuse my language, because I do use language, but I don't use it on videos. He said, "You ugly fat munter, you effing cunt." I'm not using that word on air. I hope you get raped. I hope you get stabbed. I reported him. They said it didn't breach the terms and conditions of Facebook. And then after that, I screenshotted it, put it out on my Facebook. That got me 30 days. Mark Zuckerberg at it again. Now, lastly, before I leave you good folk, and I don't know why my camera's freezing up, and I hope it's not freezing up for you lot, because otherwise I look like a robot. I'm doing a robot dance. On the 20th of August, I am organising a MARIAS march, a women's MARIAS march. Now, this isn't because, like I said before, I have no issue with men. In fact, I think men of this country, especially the working class men, are the true feminists, the real feminists of this country. But I am organising, and I want to get as many women as possible there. From Downing Street to Parliament Square, where I will have Baroness Cox will be there as a speaker. She'll be speaking first. She's also going to march with us. She's not just speaking, she's marching with us. And like I told them, this is the dawning of the new day for the suffragettes. No more will women like me and the women who are on my Facebook, true feminists, stand for any more of the femi-fascist bullshit that we see. I also am hoping, there are a couple of other big speakers which I'm hoping will be there. I also have Fawzia Rashid will be there. A lady called Roma Tahir will also be there, will be speaking. I myself will be speaking. Now, there will be girls who are going to be there who are survivors. But obviously, I'm not going to put them up on a platform, because to do that could possibly put them in a very dangerous situation, and I'm not prepared to do that. If a girl volunteered to want to speak, I'm not also going to tell her she can't. That would be her choice entirely. But you know, it's time now. Our men have been called racist and fascists and bigots and Neanderthal knuckle draggers for far too long. Women, we have a voice. Come on now. The event is up. It's on the MARIAS page. It's been shared out. I will get Karen Kelly to tag me on it again and put the page out there. We've got between now and August. Let's make this the biggest female march. The veterans will be there for security, and I know that the DFLA will be behind the veterans because they want to be there, and that's fantastic. So they will be bringing up the rear behind the veterans. The veterans will be providing security, so everybody will be safe and secure. But we need some real women power. Let's have some true suffragette power. We can show the establishment it's one thing to piss off their men. It's another to mess with a mother. When you declare a war on women, you will create warriors. And it's time now that the women warriors were woken up. Get yourselves there, please. And the reason I chose London, and I know people keep saying to me, why not the North? I'm holding the establishment to account. There's only one place they sit, and it's in that great big house where they get paid £300 for sitting on their lazy fat asses and doing jack shit. And as I told somebody, put me in the House of Commons, and every time one of the sons of bitches fall asleep, and have electric currents right up through their seats. Plenty of that now. Every time you fall asleep on me, I don't think so. There you go. Have that, you son of a bitch. You want to do what? You want to ignore how many more grooming gangs? How many more rape gangs? Out. I wouldn't part with it. I just would not part with it. But it is time now that we women woke up. It's not enough anymore. You can't just talk the talk or type the type. You've got to be prepared to walk the walk. So, please, everybody, share it out. It's up on my page. I will share it out again in a minute. I just want to see that women still have what it takes. Just remember, the women before us ran this country, kept this country running for the men out fighting for it. So we can stand up together in unison as one. I'm even going to try if I can. I don't know if I can afford it, but I want to see if I can get some suffragettes, sort of a sash that won't cost too much to make, with the colours of MARIAS, which is the colours of the suffragettes, so that the women can have them. I don't want anything for them. I don't know how I'm going to pay for them. I don't want anything for them. But wouldn't that be a great sight to show that we've had enough? And I just want to say, before I go, I noticed Miriam Ruth Nahar is on here. Please, those like Karen Kelly, Jojo, and Katie Bruce, please give her an ad. And you know, if you can and you get time, please inbox her and give her some support. Okay, she's going through a really rough time, and right now she really does need friends that truly care. And I know that the women on my page and the men, they do care. So please give her an ad, give her your support. For now, everybody, I myself am going to, do you know, I was just about to say I'm going to take my clothes off. And then I realised, well, I'm not actually going to take my clothes off before I say goodnight. I'm going to take my clothes off and go to bed. Is what I meant. Well, I was like thinking, oh, I'm about to just take my clothes off. Sorry about that. You see, I get tired and I can't. My brain goes to mush, and what comes out of my mouth is just wrong. For everybody who came on here and listened to my waffle, and for the truth that I tell, because it is the truth. I tell the truth. I don't tell lies. But the date with Brian Snooks Strasser is the 20th of August, 2018. Downing Street to Parliament Square. And we're going to hold that big building and every bastard in it accountable for the systematic failure of the children of this country for the last 40 years, and for the next 20 years. We know they won't get off their arse and do something about it. I can tell you now, even members of my family will be there. Okay? I won't be pointing them out, but I'm sure you'll spot them. I won't be bringing my mother, though, you know, even though I was accused of once, because I took the piss and said, oh, yeah, I could put my mother in a wheelchair and bring her to an EDL demo. Yeah, duh. It's called sarcasm. People don't seem to know what that is anymore. But for now, everybody, please, you go for your Mexican wave now, because you know how I love a Mexican wave at the end of the night. I don't care if they're sad faces, happy faces, thumbs, hearts, go for broke, knock yourself out. I don't mean literally. I have been up since 5:30, so I'm going to go and, I think, just collapse into my bed and get some kip. So well earned, well deserved, although I probably won't sleep too well if I'm honest. My love to everybody. I love you all. I've missed you all very much, and your support, it always fills me with hope. And we need that right now. Be good, stay safe, and keep out of mischief, unlike me. Bye.